Hi Gemini, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name's Carol, and this is your April 2024 reading. So Gemini, we are well into eclipse energy, and I'm normally not one to kind of mention it on my readings, but I think I have to. At the end of March, we had a lunar eclipse. And so some of you may be feeling that still. And now what's happening is there's this huge buildup to this total solar eclipse supermoon that's coming out on April 8th. And I'm quite excited about it because I live in Canada and I am directly in the path of the eclipse that's coming up. So I plan to watch it on that day. I've already purchased my glasses and, but so what are eclipses? Like, eclipses are really a way to shine a light on things that we need to end in our life, things that need to go. It could be things, it could be people. It's just things that are people that are no longer, serving us in any way for our highest good. And sometimes, we realize on this healing journey that friendships have to end. Intimate partners, sometimes, friends we have with colleagues, family members, we just need to step away from sometimes, or we need to give up some things in our life that need to go, addictions, some things we're attached to. And it can come out of the blue, like you don't even realize, until it actually hits you. You could be spending, like, especially with this eclipse energy, you could be spending so much time sitting with your emotions and sitting with all this. I mean, last 3 weeks, I think my sleep was so messed up. And you can just kind of be sitting with things, and all of a sudden one day you wake up and you go, like, that's what I need to let go of, because that's what's been really bothering me a lot. And so it's kind of something like that. And then, but the thing about eclipses is that it also brings in new beginnings, right? Because something needs to go in order for something new to come in. And that's how we change. That's how we grow. And solar eclipse, the one on April 8th, that's coming up. And that's kind of my focus here is they're in the North Node. And so the North Node's all about our future and where we're going. And so this is why this solar eclipse is so important, because, it's really going to lead us into the rest of 2024. And it's a big change. It's the biggest eclipse of the year. So, I mean, you can ignore it, but it also is, I think, affecting a lot of us, and, may or may not realize it. So what I wanted to do in this reading for you, Gemini, was to create a reading where, and I'll show it to you right now. So in the first position, I want to look at, I want to examine what area in your life are you going to be asked right now to examine during this eclipse season. There's an area we need to look at, and because number 2 says, well, we need to release something. It's probably something that needs to be released, and it's no longer serving your highest good, right? It's not really an honest expression of who you are, who you really are, who you want to be. And we find that in this healing journey that sometimes that, we release because it just doesn't serve us anymore. And then in the third position, I want to look at, what's coming up for you to heal around this entire situation. And we're going to look at your shadow in particular and do some shadow work. So if you're unfamiliar with the word shadow work, I've left a video in my description box for you, and it's one that I did, and it's all about how I do shadow work and how I continue to do my own shadow work. With, of course, I do have a life coach that I work with as well. And finally, in the fourth position, we're going to talk about, this is solar eclipse season, so there's a new beginning out there, and that's kind of the nice part of all this, is that new beginning that, it's really going to open up some things for us, but it's not going to come without a lot of hard work, unfortunately. So let's get started. Let's see, Gemini, where you're sitting. I'm going to ask for the first position. Oh, before we do that, I just want to talk about your overall energy right now. So I did a reading for you in December, the end of January, the end of December, beginning of January, and it was your yearly reading, and I have it linked in my description box below. And I pulled out 12 cards in that reading, and for April, Gemini, you got the Seven of Pentacles, okay? So that's your overriding energy for this reading. And the Seven of Pentacles is, you know, someone that's been holding all their pentacles. They piled them all up, and pentacles represents our material world, represents our workplace, represents our self-worth. You know, you put a lot of effort, a lot of work into this, but you're not really content or happy, and you're kind of looking at it and going, you know, is this everything? And so I'm wondering if this is going to focus on an area of your job, if it's going to focus on an area where you've been putting a lot of your effort into, you know, spending a lot of time, and you're just not fulfilled. And so, or it could be a relationship, right? So, you know, usually when this comes up, it might be your job, but we'll see where it leads us. So that's the overriding energy. Now, for this reading, I'm going to be using a deck called the Mystical Universe deck. It's a new deck. It's an indie deck that I acquired. So we're going to be using that for today. I really fell in love with the artwork on it. I'm going to be clarifying the 4 cards that I pull out from the deck with the mini Rider-Waite deck. And then, if I remember, I'm going to pull a card from the Moonology deck at the end, an oracle card for you. So let's begin, and I'm going to ask Tarot for 1 card to see what area of your life we're focusing on right now during this eclipse season. What area of Gemini's life? Oh, here we go. Oh, isn't that interesting? We have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So that tells me that some things are changing, right? Because we see the overriding energy was, you know, you're looking at this going like, this isn't fulfilling me anymore, whatever it is. It's a, you know, a job or something, but now it's in reverse here, which tells me that, you know, things are changing. All right, so position number 2, what do I need to release? What needs to release? What needs to end that's no longer serving me anymore? 1 card for Gemini, please, for position number 2. What needs to end? What do they need to shed that's related to this Seven of Pentacles here? It doesn't want to tell me. Sometimes I have to threaten the deck. 1 more card, please. Okay. Oh, Tower moment. Tower moment here is coming up. Sometimes that comes up. Like, I don't want to get too scared, but we'll talk about the Tower moment. Yeah, that comes up when it's necessary. It's not a card for me that comes out a lot, but it'll come out when something is, you know, necessary for change. Healing. What's coming up for me to heal from my childhood that's impacting this release? What's coming up to heal from my shadow that I need to heal? 1 card, please. Okay, I got 2 cards and I only want 1, so 1 card, please, for this position number 3. Too many cards. Try this again. 1 card, please. Is that 1 card? I think so. No. Okay, 1 flipped over. Yay. King of Pentacles is coming up for you in your shadow. And finally, a card. I'll move these over here. A card that's coming up for you. What's your new beginning? You know, what's coming your way? What's being born in you? 1 card, please, here. I want 2. I want 1 card. Don't want 3. 1 card, please. It's being born. Tarot's being stubborn. No, I don't want those. That one's going to fly out. Okay, let's try one more time, and then I'll have to split the deck if it's not going to come out. I'm threatening it, so I'm hoping it's going to come out. There you go. Page of Swords. This is what's opening up for you. The Page of Swords. All right. Okay, I promise you that it'll go easy from here on in because this comes out a lot easier. I need something for the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. 2 cards. There's 1. I got the Magician in reverse. 1 more, please. One more card. The 6 of Swords in reverse. All right, so the Tower. 2 cards, please, for clarification for the Tower. Ooh, they came out nicely. Okay, you have the 2 of Cups. And you have the Devil. The Devil. King of Pentacles. Okay. King of Pentacles. Oh, that one's nice. The 4 of Wands. And then you have one more. One more, please. The Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. All right, Page of Swords. The Page of Swords. 2 cards, please. Oh, nicely they came out. Tower card in reverse. Well, that's good. Tower card in reverse and the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords in reverse. The 10 of Swords in reverse. All right. So, we talked about your overriding energy, 7 of Pentacles, and looking at something that's just not fulfilling anymore. So, let's take a look at what area of your life, Gemini, that this is affecting. So, let me just grab these right here. The first card you have is the 7 of Pentacles, and it's in reverse. Now, again, we just talked about that. So there is an area of your life where you're definitely unfulfilled, where you're definitely, you're looking at it and you're going, I've spent so much time on this and commitment to it. And it's just, I'm feeling like I need to have a new direction. I'm feeling like I need to do something about this. And it has come in reverse here. So it could be that, this situation is finally going to change. It could mean that it's needing to change because, or there's just a real denial on your part that it has to change. That could be it also. I mean, it's a general reading, but what I'm seeing here is the fact that it's come up twice, once upright, one reversed. There is a real emphasis on looking at this area, and there needs to be some kind of change here that happens that you're feeling with this situation that you're sitting in. And a lot of times it's hard. It's so hard to make a change. We don't know how. We don't know what to do. We feel stuck in our situation. And the Magician comes up right after it. And the Magician is, the absolute manifester, and in an upright position. This just talks about the Magician. It is the first card in the major arcana, a big universal force here, an archetypal force where it's, it's that it talks about you can manifest, that whole, anything in your life that you want. I mean, this particular magician can. He can because he has everything. He has all the 4 elements, the pentacles, the swords, the wands, the cups at his disposal on his table. And he has the magical wand here, right? He has this wand that he's going to lift up into divine source, creator, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. But he's using the power that's going to come through him, that universal force, and he's going to act as a lightning rod, and he's going to ground it into the earth. It's not something that he's going to keep for himself. And so this has come in reverse here, because there is a real denial on your part, or a real resistance, or you just don't see it, like that your situation here, that is the 7 of Pentacles situation that you're caught up in right now, that you're sitting in, that you're not liking, realizing that it's not bringing you fulfillment, whatever situation it is, if it's with the person, if it's with a job, and the Magician card will come and say, you have everything at your disposal to help yourself. Like, you can do this. This is what the Magician card is about. When I first started my journey and I wanted answers I didn't know how to solve a lot of my issues, my stuff that was coming up. And I just wanted my therapist to tell me what to do. Tell me what to do, because I don't know. And she said to me once, you have all the answers in you. And I hated that response. It's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted her to tell me what to do. And the Magician card comes up and says, you have everything in you at your disposal. You have your inner guidance. You have your intuition. But it's blocked right now. Your inner guidance is blocked. It's, you're feeling like you don't know what to do. You think you don't have a way out, with this Magician being blocked, of this situation that you're stuck in right now. The 6 of Swords is next. And the 6 of Swords in an upright position is, to me, it's this gondolier man taking these individuals right here to a safer place, And you can see the waters are really choppy at the bottom here, and he's moving into a safer place here. And that's in reverse here. So I have to question when this card comes up, and the fact that it's in reverse, and what I'm finding here already is that I'm thinking you don't feel safe where you are right now. Sometimes when we have to make a decision, it's really difficult for us to go and going into that new direction when we don't feel safe enough, or we need to get to safety. That could be what's happening with you as well. All right, so maybe you just don't feel safe to do what you want to do, or take your life in this new direction, or change your situation, because you don't feel safe and you're not in a safe place. So it's a general reading, so you take it as, it applies to you. Now, what needs to be released, or what has to end here in this situation? Well, there's a Tower moment that comes up. And like I said earlier, the Tower moment doesn't come up often. However, it is a card, when it comes up in your reading, that you really, really need to pay attention to, because Tower moments come up when, and believe me, I've had too many Tower moments in my life, because, and I'm talking not so much in my life, but on my own healing journey, or, before I got into intensive therapy, where I saw red flags and I ignored them. I knew I needed to get out of certain relationships and I ignored them. And I knew certain things were happening in my life, and I knew they weren't right for me. They were not for my highest good, and I ignored them. And this is about releasing something here, or someone in your life. And it doesn't look like there's something here where you're stuck and you're not satisfied. And you're seeing that, you don't see a way out. You don't see a way out of your situation, and you're not feeling safe to do it. The tower moment's coming in here saying, you know what, this is reaching a tower moment here where there needs to be some change here. And when a tower moment comes up, it's like, it's no longer about we're getting these little red flags. It's like, this is the time. This is time, finally, Gemini, where you need to make a move. You need to make a change. You need to get yourself to a safer place. You need to get to a place where you feel safe enough to do what you need to do. This Two of Cups card comes up when, twos are all about decision. But in this particular card, it's really a healing card. It's the beginning of the relationship with yourself. And what I'm seeing here is what needs to sort of be released here, what has to come to an end. It's like, you need to begin to put you first. It's not about anybody else. And that is such a hard concept to adopt. Like, if we've spent a lifetime of being controlled by other people, if we've spent a lifetime of being very dependent on other people, and if we're in a place that's very unsafe, we don't always put ourselves first. We don't know how. And maybe because of our unworthiness, we don't know how. And this is the time where this is the beginning of a very healing relationship here, this caduceus, with ourselves. It's the first step to saying, I'm putting me first. I'm worth it. I'm putting me first. And it's so hard. I had to do it. And you do it little by little by little by little by little. And eventually it's like you put yourself first. You just do. Because you get to like yourself more and you realize that you matter. When I started my journey 7 years ago of intensive therapy, I didn't matter. I couldn't do this. Now I can. The Devil. The Devil card talks about our attachments. So there are, many things we can be attached to. There are many addictions. We can be attached to running, for example. We like the high of the endorphins that are released when we run. We can be attached to our phone. We can be attached to drugs, to alcohol. And we all know our addictions and we all have them. Sometimes we have many of them at one time. But we also can be attached to people. We can be attached to people. And I know, because I've been there, where you just see that you can't leave a person, you can't leave a thing. So there is a tower moment in your life that's coming up for you, Gemini, right now, where, you're being asked to put yourself first. And so you need to release this, this thing of not being able to put yourself first. You have to start to put yourself first. And this attachment needs to be released. Whatever it is that you're attached to right now, there's a tower moment. So it needs to be released. The next, what needs to come up from your shadow, that needs to heal, right? And a lot of times it's just not that easy. Like we can't just release the relationship, or we can sometimes. There's a tower moment here, so maybe it is like, it's something we have to do. But there are times, sometimes we got to work a little bit through some of the things that are coming up in our shadow here. And so what I'm seeing here is the King of Pentacles is the first card that comes up. And the King of Pentacles is our ego self. Our ego self wants, and it's about pentacles. So it's about job. It's about your self-worth. It's about, material world. But what happens is, because the king has come up here, you know, this could be a job that you need to walk away from. You know, I didn't mention this. The Seven Pentacles normally talks about a job. I'm forgetting that. I apologize. I mean, it could be a relationship, but it could be a job we need to walk away from. You know, maybe it's really toxic, because this is a pentacle coming up again. So I'm feeling like it, and you know, there's another pentacle right here. So I'm feeling like, you know, it might be about job, you know. And so the king, our ego self, my kings are in my deck are my ego self. It's a masculine part of us. We all have a masculine and a feminine part of us, and the masculine part is what drives us. And so there's in your ego your ego is sitting like a belief system that is really sitting here in your shadow, that's really blocking this. Our ego is petrified, very petrified all the time of change, petrified of emotion. Your ego will convince you that it's easier for you to stay in your relationship, easier for you to stay in this job. Like, don't do it, don't change. It's going to cause so much this and so much heartache and so much of the, you know, it's just easier to they just want the status quo. They don't want change. They don't like it. The next card is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is when you finally, you know, you've been thinking about this, and when you finally take that step into freedom, this victory here, these two people, they're back here, they're walking away from this walled city back here, and you know, these wands here, which are meant to lead into our new direction, and they're very creative, and we do what we want to do, and we're following our passion, and they're not meant to be, you know, solid and rigid like the number 4 here. But this is the beginning of your freedom, and it's in reverse here. And so what I'm seeing is your ego self is blocking you from this freedom that a part of you inside of you wants to get at, wants the freedom. And then you have the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is, my knights are all about freedom. They're freedom fighters. And so again, you have this sitting in, and they're an adolescent part of us. And it's sitting in your shadow. So there's this real need for freedom to come out. And Pentacle is all about freedom to follow, do the job that you want to do. You know, freedom to go into the direction that you want to go into. Freedom to, you know, get back into your body and start to feel some of these things that you want to do. And so I'm feeling here that it's really, really wanting to come out, this freedom. Because you're feeling quite trapped in this situation. And so what's going to come out once you get in touch with that part of you that wants to be free from the situation you're in. And I do that through my journaling. And I do that through just feeling that sense of being trapped. And what is it inside you? You know, maybe there's a part of you when you were a child that something kept you trapped and felt like you were trapped in a situation you could not get out of. But you can get out of this, because the beauty of all of this is that you're an adult now. And oftentimes we will have sort of like flashbacks where we think we're still trapped in this situation, but it's really, we were trapped when we were younger, but we're not trapped anymore. But you have to go back to that situation that you were trapped in and see what it was all about and heal that part of you that wants the freedom. when like it's an adolescent part of you. So maybe when you were a teenager, maybe there was a certain job you wanted to do, you weren't allowed to, and you're stuck in this job right now, and you're wanting to do something different. You wanting to go and do some sort of a job that you wanted to do a long time ago. You know, maybe that's wanting to come out. So what's this new beginning that's coming your way once you work through this? What's the new beginning here? Well, the Page of Swords coming out here. And the page is a younger part of you. It's a part that's about 4, 5, 6-year-old. It's our inner child. And so what's coming out here is that you're going to start to hear your inner child. You're going to start to hear, once you get in touch with this, you know, what's in your shadow, and releasing yourself from the situation that you're feeling so trapped in, then you're going to start to hear and heal what your inner child is. And your inner child holds your truth. This is the sword here. This is the truth of who you are. So you're really going to start, you're at the beginning of finding out, who are you? You know, who were you meant to be? What were you meant to do? What's your passion? And this tower moment that you were in is now going to be, I mean, it's still a tower moment. Don't get me wrong here. But it's in reverse, which means it's going to, I think, lessen the load. It's going to, you know, it's still a difficulty that you have to deal with, but it's not going to feel like the full effect that a tower moment would have on your life. It's like, finally, you know, it's going to release some of this angst inside of you, this freedom that you want to, you know, I think you need to get yourself to a safer place. If it's a job, maybe you need to leave it. Like, you know, it's causing you a lot of pain, whatever it is that you feel trapped in. And these 10 of Swords, you see this 10 of Swords in an upright position? These are all your belief systems about yourself. All that stuff that you've been thinking about yourself, your self-worth, the things that you couldn't do, all those ideas and those thoughts that the ego was telling you, you know, why you can't make this change for yourself, why you can't put yourself first, why you're not worthy enough of putting yourself first. Those are going to come to an end as well, start to come to an end, right? Because this is where all of these emotions and these belief systems you have about yourself, I mean, this is what it's doing to you. It's putting you in the ground. And that's what's keeping you stuck. But that's going to start to change as well. And so it's going to create a real opening to a bit more of an awareness of your situation and what you need to do, you know, because right now you're feeling really trapped and I don't think you see a way out. But you're going to start to see a way out. You just start getting in touch with, you know, maybe some of those inner parts of you that need to talk to you. You know, what are you really feeling? What do you really want? Got to put yourself first. Just a little bit, Gemini. And then you'll be amazed at what opens up for you. So I'm going to end this reading with, it was a beautiful reading for you, with a Moonology card here. And what advice does this Oracle card going to have for you? One card. You have, nice one. Luck is on your side. So let's read about new moon and Sagittarius. Luck is on your side. And it's a new moon, so it's about a new beginning for you. With a bit of luck. Whatever's coming your way, it looks set to put a smile on your face. Well, that's good, because we got 2 towers here. The new moon in Sagittarius can mark the restart of fun after a period of feeling low. The energy is adventurous and even willing to take a few risks. But be careful you don't bet the farm on something here, as the wheel of fortune is still spinning. This card is about exploring life metaphorically by exchanging big ideas with others or just thinking about your own philosophies. And you know, this can apply to if it's a work situation. Perhaps it's time to change your mind about something important. It can also signal that a trip away is coming up, if that's something you're working to achieve. But the overall message of this card is that whatever happens next will be some sort of a gift, even if that simply means widening your world view. And I did say that about the Ten of Swords, opening up things on your side. The Six of Swords is, I talked about safety, but that can also mean going on, you know, a trip or something. So when they talked about a trip in here, good luck, Gemini, and I'll see you mid-month. Talk soon. Bye-bye.